us. I think they are, but I don't think so. Darren Criss is best known for playing Blaine Anderson on the hit television show Glee, where he has covered songs including Misery, Raise Your Glass, and Teenage Dream. He's currently in the middle of a sold-out concert tour performing all over North America, and this summer you can catch him on the big screen in the comedy Girl Most Likely, starring Kristen Wiig. Darren joins us now. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome.
You say it like that, I'm like, man, how exciting.
I know, I rock.
With my life.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an exciting summer for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a great summer being on tour. So you've toured with Glee before, and that was big stadiums. You're doing slightly more intimate settings now.
Yeah, some stuff I'm a little more used to. I was a musician before Glee, and you know, played in a lot more humble venues, shall we say. And yeah, I'm kind of back to what I'm used to and what I'm more comfortable with, and I wanted to do this tour as an opportunity to connect with a lot of the people that have supported me thus far, because, you know, otherwise you're just on a television screen or a YouTube screen and there's a sort of disconnect with the people who are taking a proactive part in that. So I wanted to go out and be with the people who got me there in the first place.
1.2 million on Twitter, my goodness.
My mom has a lot of fans.
That's how a lot of people came to know you as well. My daughter, she was like, "Oh, Mom, look! You auditioned. You had a lot of work on YouTube, on the internet. A lot of people came to know your work. You play a lot of different instruments, and you just seem to light up when you do that."
Well, thank you. I'm glad I fooled you into thinking.
You did a good job.
Thank you. Good. Let's hope I can continue to fool the world.
Seriously, self-taught, all that stuff.
That sounds a lot more interesting than it is. I played violin my whole life. That's the instrument that kind of was the gateway to everything else, which is a very specific regiment instrument. So I played violin for like 15 years, classically trained, and then from that I started realizing that guitars were more, you know, apt to be lying around, and also for me, a few more girls.
Yeah, that's what every musician says. Like, and the chicks dig it.
Exactly right. Very simple. When I watch your old YouTube videos, it's like you can really feel that rocket rise of your career, because I think one of the videos I watched yesterday, you were playing at an Italian restaurant where you worked.
Yeah, I loved it. I still try and do that as much as I can. It was this perfect storm of a lot of different things that came at once. I was always playing in bars and restaurants just because I loved it, but also had me paying around a little bit, although not all the way, a little bit. Or I'd be playing pop songs, my own versions of stuff, and people would just shout out songs, and so I would try to do like a bossa nova version of that top 40 hit. And that was just my exercise about 4 or 5 hours twice a week, whether it be on the street or anywhere. And then I would be casting a show where I had to do that anyway. Except with, a shaving haircut, 2 bits.
Rosie, this is your cue. Dude, should I just dive right into it? No,
bring it on.
Big fan of Glee, big fan of all the work that you've done on that show.
You.
Really just, I mean, it's such a fun show.
Yeah.
But the one rendition of Teenage Dream was huge. It was the fastest hit for Glee on the Billboard charts, and it makes me so happy.
Well, thank you.
It just does, and that rendition in particular,
Yeah.
So afterward, before the break, I'm going to have to start singing at you.
Yeah, I think
and I'm
go
hoping
for it,
that you will sing with me.
Yes, we go to break,
Yeah.
Makes sense. Because that's unbelievable how quickly that charted.
Again, a lot of family in the Philippines will do it.
Hey, I wasn't going to mention
Our
it, but
special little tree house in the
my
Philippines.
family never comes to watch the show when it's just me on this, and there are 3 members of my family. They knew you were coming.
That are here?
That are here, right here to watch.
There they are. Hey!
What's been the most surprising thing about the success for you?
I think you just answered the question. It's that there has been any kind of success at all. It's one learns to hope for everything and expect nothing, and so when you have anything on the other side that sort of validates your hard work, it's surprising and overwhelming, but it's flattering, and you kind of take it in your stride. I mean, you guys know what that's about.
Hope for everything, expect nothing. I like that. Let's talk a little bit about your film that's coming out, Girl Most Likely, with Kristen Wiig, Annette Bening, Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
This must have been a phenomenal film to work on.
Same thing. I mean, I was just so over the moon to be a part of that. I mean, with Glee, it was a huge success when I was in college, and so to join that was like, oh my God, you guys are like, big deal. Then you have somebody like Annette Bening and Matt Dillon, who have been, very important people in the artistic community for a long time, and I was, running around with giants and just trying my best to keep up and taking notes. And it was a full learning experience. I like to say I'm getting my master's degree. I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree at the University of Michigan, but I like to say I got my master's degree at McKinley High in Ohio, and I certainly had a master class with them at doing that film.
Did you talk to Matt Dillon at all about like that quick rise? Like, because he certainly would have gone through that when he was young.
Oh man, I should have. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. We mostly talked about Latin music. He plays the congas.
Yeah. Tell me this, because we were talking about Twitter yesterday, just because there were, like, when people explode on it and you have millions of followers. And I was saying yesterday, before I knew how many you had, that I would find that intimidating, to know that you have 1.2 million people who will see the words.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. I'm a little old-fashioned. I'm not. I'm admittedly so not the best with social media. I try to do as much as possible, but if given the choice, I wouldn't. But I understand its value, and I'm not going to like poo-poo it because I know it's important for guys like me. But it's not my thing.
I'm wondering if the music keeps you anchored, because it's not like you just I don't know, auditioned for a show and then you got the part and there you were. You were always into your music. So is that the thing that you kind of go to?
I think what keeps me anchored is just I'm lucky. I've lived a relatively normal life up until quite recently, so my feet are pretty glued hard to the ground, super glued to the ground, I should say, or I hope so. And also, I tend to hang out with people who are far more talented and interesting than me, so that keeps it easy to keep things in perspective.
Your family is very musical. Your brother is in a band.
My brother's in a very well-to-do hip. He's the cool one. He's in the sort of skinny jeans and cigarettes band. Freelance Whales done very well for themselves. Yeah, Freelance Whales have done very well for themselves, which is another blessing. And my mom actually was always musical, but this is something I always tell to all my friends. My brother and I played music when we were young, and my mom decided to pick up the cello well into her 40s, so. Never too late. Just saying that to anybody. Not like any of you are 40.
Okay. And favorite guest. All right, we have just under a minute, so I want to tell people that if you're in the Toronto area, although your concerts are sold out, you're playing at the Phoenix.
Things always happen. There's always something last minute, you know.
You never know. Girl Most Likely opens in theaters on July 19th. Season 5 of Glee premieres right here on Global this fall. Rosie.
I don't know. Here we go. Darren, I'm going to sing at you.
Sing at me, darling.
And maybe you'll sing with me.
I'll do my best.
Before you met me, I was alright, but things were kinda heavy. You brought me to life.
We don't have the kids behind us.
You'll be my Valentine.
You guys are gonna come to the concert tonight. I won't sing, I'll make you sing it.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. We'll put a nice little spotlight, we'll give you a dress and a rose in your mouth on the piano.
Rose for Rosa. Darren, thank you so much.
Thank you. What a great guy you are. So nice to meet you. Hey, everybody in the window.
Continues to add to my reasons of loving Toronto.
Thank you. We're going to take a break. Coming up, we begin our Canadian Entrepreneurs